Ryan adjusted the strap of his tool belt and wiped the sweat from his forehead. The space station's corridors always felt too narrow, too crowded, and too bright. He had spent months repairing energy conduits and calibrating sensors for the human delegation visiting the planet Viralaya, but today was different. Today, he was not just a technician. Today, he would meet someone he never imagined meeting, an alien princess. The announcement came over the station's intercom. All visitors are requested to attend the welcoming ceremony in the central hall. Princess Tala of Viralaya will be present. Ryan paused mid-step, a small wrench still in his hand. He had repaired spaceships, fixed malfunctioning reactors, and survived dangerous storms in orbit, but a formal ceremony with an alien princess was something entirely new. His colleagues whispered excitedly behind him, but he ignored them. He was here to do a job, not to become part of a diplomatic event. The central hall shimmered with soft blue light. Floating lanterns hovered in the air, moving gracefully as if they had a life of their own. The walls were translucent, showing the distant glow of Viralaya's twin moons. Ryan stepped inside and felt the weight of hundreds of eyes watching him. Humans, aliens, and a few robotic assistants filled the room. Everyone's attention was drawn to a figure standing near the center. Princess Tala. She was taller than he expected, with skin that seemed to catch the light like liquid silver. Her eyes were bright, intelligent, and curious, studying every person in the room. She wore a robe that flowed like water, shifting colors from blue to green as she moved. But it was not her beauty that struck Ryan first, it was the air of confidence and authority surrounding her. She was not merely royalty, she was someone used to observing and understanding every detail of her world. Ryan felt his stomach tighten. He was a human engineer, not a diplomat, not a politician. He did not belong in a room like this. The ceremony began. Tala spoke in the Viralian language, and translators repeated her words in a calm, melodic voice. She welcomed the humans, praised the cooperation between species, and spoke of shared goals for peace and knowledge. Ryan listened quietly, fascinated. She spoke with warmth, yet every word had precision. Then came the unexpected moment. Tala stepped closer to Ryan. Her translators paused, and a hush fell over the room. "Human engineer Ryan," she said, her voice clear and steady. "I propose a union between our peoples through marriage." Ryan froze. A few whispers rose in the hall, quickly silenced by the serious expressions of the alien delegates. Marriage? With him? A human? He looked at Tala, unsure if this was some kind of test or joke. "Princess," Ryan started, but Tala raised her hand, stopping him. "This is no jest," she said. "Your skills, your intelligence, and your bravery represent the best of humanity. We need a connection, a bond, between our peoples that goes beyond diplomacy. Will you accept?" Ryan blinked, his mind spinning. The logical part of him screamed that this was impossible. He had never even imagined talking to a princess, let alone marrying one. But another part of him, a quieter, braver part, recognized something in Tala's gaze, a spark of trust, curiosity, and seriousness. He swallowed hard. I accept," he said finally. A ripple of surprise passed through the hall. Tala's eyes softened slightly, and she inclined her head. Her translators repeated Ryan's words, and the room filled with a mixture of astonishment and quiet applause. After the ceremony, Ryan was escorted to a small chamber for private discussion. Tala followed, her expression calm but thoughtful. "You seem surprised," she said, speaking slowly so he could understand. I am," Ryan admitted. "I never expected this. I mean, marriage. To a princess? I don't even know how this works." Tala smiled faintly. "Then you will learn. But it is not about tradition alone. It is about trust, partnership, and understanding. I need someone who can see beyond appearances, someone who can think clearly and act bravely. That is why I chose you. Ryan felt a strange mixture of pride and fear. He had fixed countless problems in space, solved technical crises, and survived impossible odds, but this challenge was different. This was not about tools, machines, or calculations. This was about two very different worlds coming together through him. He nodded slowly. I'll do my best, he said. Good, Tala replied. We have little time. The wedding preparations begin soon. You must learn our ways, understand our rituals, and adapt. Only then will the bond be complete. Ryan looked down at his hands, imagining the long nights of study and adjustment ahead. He had faced dangers before, but nothing had prepared him for navigating the world of an alien princess. And yet, in the back of his mind, a small spark of excitement grew. This was not just a duty. This was a journey unlike any he had ever known. As Tala turned to leave, Ryan watched her go, feeling the weight of his new responsibility and the strange thrill of stepping into a life he had never expected. He realized then that nothing would ever be the same again. The shuttle descended slowly toward Viralia's surface. Ryan pressed his hand against the small window, mesmerized by what he saw. The planet was nothing like Earth. Mountains floated in the sky, anchored by unknown forces, casting long shadows over forests of glowing plants. Rivers sparkled with a strange light, and the oceans shimmered like liquid crystal. Ryan's heart raced. He had traveled through space, seen alien worlds before, but nothing had prepared him for this. Every corner of Viralia seemed alive, breathing with colors and movement he could not explain. Princess Tala stood beside him, her silver skin glowing faintly in the shuttle's light. Welcome to Viralia, she said, her voice calm but warm. This is my home. Soon, it will also be yours. Ryan tried to smile, but the enormity of the situation made it difficult. It's incredible, he managed. I've never seen anything like this. Tala nodded, her eyes scanning the horizon. There is much to learn here. Our ways are different from yours. You must be patient, and you must observe. Only then will you truly understand. The shuttle landed softly on a platform high above one of the glowing oceans. The doors opened, and Ryan stepped out into a world that seemed alive. The air smelled fresh but strange, with hints of sweetness and minerals he could not name. He took a careful step, then another, feeling the ground pulse faintly under his boots, as if the planet itself was welcoming him. Tala guided him through the streets of the nearest city. Floating buildings hovered gracefully, connected by bridges of light that hummed softly underfoot. Viralians moved with elegance, their skin reflecting soft shades of color. Some paused to look at Ryan, curiosity in their bright eyes, but they bowed respectfully to Tala and offered polite greetings. This is amazing, Ryan whispered, hardly daring to speak too loudly. How do your buildings float like this? Tala smiled faintly. Gravity manipulation. Our scientists discovered a way to balance forces. It took generations to perfect. Every part of the city is designed to live in harmony with the planet's energy. Ryan nodded, trying to absorb everything. I've fixed spaceships that could barely fly in Earth's atmosphere, but this is something else entirely. Tala led him to a palace at the heart of the city. Its towers spiraled upward, disappearing into the clouds above. The walls shimmered like liquid glass, and the doors were enormous, carved with glowing symbols that told stories of Viralia's history. Inside, Ryan met Tala's advisors. They were polite but curious, asking questions about humans, Earth, and Ryan's experiences. Some were skeptical of a human joining the royal family. Ryan felt their scrutiny, but Tala's steady presence beside him gave him courage. You will live here during the wedding preparations, Tala explained. You must learn our customs, our rituals, and our expectations. This is not just a marriage, it is a bond between worlds. Ryan nodded. I understand. I'll do my best. The days that followed were both fascinating and challenging. Ryan explored Viralaya, learning about floating gardens that glowed with soft light at night and rivers that sang with strange tones. He tasted foods that changed flavor with temperature and color, and he practiced walking on bridges of light without falling. Every moment was a lesson in patience and observation. Tala was always nearby, guiding him gently. She laughed softly when he stumbled or made mistakes, but her eyes never mocked him. Slowly, Ryan began to see her not just as a princess, but as someone curious, intelligent, and kind. He realized that she was not asking him to change completely, she was asking him to understand her world, and in return, he was learning to understand her. One evening, they stood on a balcony overlooking a forest of glowing trees. The twin moons reflected in the rivers below, casting a soft silver light over the landscape. Do you think I can ever fit in here? Ryan asked quietly. Tala turned to him, her eyes calm. Fitting in is not the goal. Understanding is. If you can understand our ways, respect our traditions, and be true to yourself, then you will belong here. Ryan looked down at his hands, feeling both nervous and excited. He had faced dangerous storms in space, repaired ships in life or death situations, and solved impossible technical problems, but adapting to an alien world and preparing to marry its princess was a challenge unlike any other. Tala smiled, sensing his thoughts. Do not worry, Ryan. The journey is just beginning, but together, we can face it. You will see that our world is not as strange as it seems once you learn its rhythm. For the first time since his arrival, Ryan felt a sense of calm. The planet was enormous and complex, but it was also full of wonder and beauty. And Tala, she was more than a princess. She was a guide, a teacher, and perhaps, someone he could trust completely. As the glowing trees shimmered in the night, Ryan realized that Viralaya was not just a challenge, it was an adventure. And he was ready to step fully into it, one careful, fascinated step at a time. The morning sun reflected off the floating towers of Viralaya, filling Ryan's room with soft, shifting light. Today, he would begin the first stage of wedding preparations. Tala had explained that marriage in her culture was more than a ceremony, it was a series of lessons, rituals, and tests meant to strengthen trust between partners. Ryan felt a mix of excitement and nervousness. He had learned to repair starships, survive dangerous missions, and solve complex problems, but learning alien traditions was another kind of challenge entirely. Tala appeared at the door, her silver robe glimmering in the morning light. Are you ready? She asked, smiling faintly. I think so, Ryan replied. Though I have no idea what to expect. Then let us begin, Tala said, leading him out of the room. Their first stop was the palace training hall. The walls glowed with soft light, and floating holograms displayed scenes of past royal marriages. Tala motioned to one of the instructors, an older Viralian named Zyril, who bowed deeply to her. Ryan, Tala said, this is Zyril. He will guide you through our customs and rituals. Pay close attention, and do not be afraid to ask questions. Zyril's gaze was intense but not unkind. You will learn to move, speak, and act in ways that honor Viralaya, he said. Every gesture, every word, carries meaning. Do not take it lightly. Ryan nodded, swallowing his nerves. The first lesson began with simple gestures, bows, hand movements, and the way to greet elders. Ryan tried to copy Zyril's fluid motions, but he stumbled several times, causing Tala to hide a small chuckle behind her hand. Your hands are too stiff, she said softly. Try to feel the movement, not force it. Ryan practiced for hours, gradually improving. Tala remained patient, guiding him gently. Between lessons, they walked through palace gardens filled with glowing flowers and floating ponds. Ryan began to see that every part of Viralaya had meaning. Even the smallest details, like the direction a flower faced or the flow of a fountain, held cultural significance. Later, Tala introduced him to Viralian attire. Humans wore simple clothing, but Viralians had garments that shifted color, reflecting emotion and energy. Ryan was fitted with a formal outfit designed to show respect during the wedding. As he stepped in front of a mirror, Tala's eyes softened. "You look different," she said. "But it is good. It shows that you are learning." Ryan laughed nervously. "I hope I don't look ridiculous during the ceremony." "You will not," Tala replied. "What matters is sincerity, not perfection." In the evenings, Tala took him through another part of preparation, the mental and emotional exercises that would help them understand each other. Viralian marriage required partners to share thoughts, memories, and dreams in a controlled way. It was not physical, but deeply personal. Ryan found it strange at first, but he trusted Tala, and slowly he began to experience what she described, a feeling of connection that went beyond words. One afternoon, they sat on a balcony overlooking the glowing forests. "Ryan," Tala said quietly, "some humans fear this part of our ritual. They think it is invasive. But it is not. It is about trust. If we understand each other, we can face anything together." Ryan nodded, feeling a strange calm. "I want to understand," he said. "Even if it is difficult, I want to do this right." Tala smiled, her silver skin catching the sunlight. "That is why I chose you. You are patient, curious, and willing to learn. Those qualities matter more than skill or status." Over the next few days, Ryan's lessons became more complex. He practiced formal speech, learned the subtle signals used to express respect, and studied the histories of Viralia's royal families. He was exhausted by the end of each day, but Tala always encouraged him. "You are learning faster than most humans," she said one evening. "Do not be discouraged by mistakes. Every step brings you closer to understanding." Ryan realized that the preparation was teaching him more than just customs, it was teaching him to see the world from a different perspective. Tala's patience and guidance made him feel capable, even in a culture so alien to him. By the end of the week, Ryan could bow gracefully, speak politely to the elders, and follow the routines expected of a Viralian spouse. More importantly, he had begun to feel a connection with Tala, not as a distant princess, but as a partner who trusted him and wanted him to succeed. As they walked through the palace gardens that evening, Tala turned to him. "Tomorrow, we will begin the final stage of preparation. It is the part most humans find challenging. But I believe you are ready." Ryan took a deep breath, looking at the glowing horizon. The wedding was approaching, and he knew the real test was near. He was not just learning customs, he was stepping into a new life, one that bridged two very different worlds. And though he was nervous, he felt a quiet confidence. With Tala by his side, he could face whatever came next. The sun rose slowly over Viralia, casting golden light across floating mountains and glowing forests. The city's streets buzzed with excitement. Today was the wedding day, the day Ryan would officially join Princess Tala in a bond meant to unite two worlds. Ryan awoke early, nerves twisting in his stomach. He dressed carefully in the formal outfit Zyril had helped him with, clothes that shimmered softly, reflecting light in ways he could not fully understand. Every detail had meaning, colors, patterns, and the way he tied his sash all symbolized respect and unity. Tala appeared in the doorway, her silver robe glowing in the morning light. Her expression was calm, but there was a gentle sparkle in her eyes. "Are you ready?" she asked softly. Ryan swallowed. "As ready as I can be," he replied. Tala nodded. "Then we will begin." The ceremony was held in a grand hall at the heart of the floating palace. Its walls shimmered like liquid glass, and soft light filled every corner. Dignitaries from across the galaxy attended, some curious, some cautious, all eager to witness the union. Humans and Viralians mingled, exchanging polite greetings and careful glances. Ryan followed Tala into the hall. He felt the eyes of hundreds of beings on him, but Tala's calm presence beside him steadied his nerves. The ceremony began with music unlike anything Ryan had heard. Harmonies floated in the air, soft yet powerful, resonating through the hall. Tala and Ryan approached the ceremonial platform, each step carefully measured. Zyril guided Ryan through the gestures he had practiced for days: bows, hand placements, and movements designed to show respect. Tala mirrored him effortlessly, her actions precise but graceful. When they stood together at the center of the platform, Tala spoke. Her voice was clear, melodic, and carried across the hall. We come together not only as individuals but as representatives of our worlds. Our bond is a promise of understanding, trust, and cooperation. Ryan felt his heart beat faster. He repeated the vows in his own words, careful to show sincerity and respect. I promise to honor you, to learn your ways, and to do my best to understand and protect the connection between our peoples. The hall filled with a gentle glow as the vows were recognized. Light flowed from the platform, symbolizing the union, moving around them like a soft ribbon of energy. Ryan watched Tala's eyes, noticing the trust and warmth shining there. After the vows, they participated in rituals that involved exchanging symbols of their worlds. Tala placed a small crystal in Ryan's hands, glowing softly with the energy of Viralaya. Ryan handed her a simple earth charm, representing his home and people. The exchange was a silent promise: each world would respect the other, and each partner would protect the bond they shared. The final part of the ceremony was a short meditation. They stood silently, holding hands, feeling the energy of the room and the planet around them. Ryan focused on Tala, on her guidance and trust, and a calmness spread through him. He realized that the ceremony was more than ritual: it was a way to truly connect, to feel the presence and importance of another being beyond words. When it ended, the crowd erupted in applause, some humans clapping awkwardly, some Viralians moving gracefully with flowing gestures. Ryan felt a mix of relief and pride. He had survived the most important day of his life so far, not through luck, but through patience, observation, and trust in Tala. Later, in a quiet garden outside the palace, Tala smiled at him. You did well, she said. Not everyone could have understood and respected our customs so quickly. Ryan laughed softly, feeling more at ease than he had all day. I had a good teacher, he replied. Tala tilted her head, her silver skin catching the fading light. And a willing student. That is what matters. The ceremony is complete, but our journey is just beginning. Ryan looked around at the glowing garden, the floating trees, and the soft light of the twin moons. He realized that this day was not the end of challenges: it was the start of a new life. A life where two worlds would meet through him, where understanding and trust would grow stronger every day. For the first time, Ryan felt a deep sense of belonging. He was no longer just a human visiting an alien world. He was part of something larger, a bridge between people and cultures. And with Tala by his side, he knew he could face whatever came next. As the evening glow settled over Viralaya, Ryan and Tala walked side by side through the palace gardens, feeling the bond between them deepen. The wedding day had been extraordinary, full of wonder, challenge, and connection. And though Ryan had expected only ceremony and tradition, he had discovered something far more meaningful: trust, understanding, and the beginning of a shared adventure unlike any other. The palace was quiet that night, the soft glow of Viralaya's moons reflecting off the floating towers. Ryan followed Tala down a long hallway, his heart beating faster with every step. He had imagined the wedding day for months, but the reality of the first night was something entirely different. Tala opened the door to a private chamber. The room was filled with soft light, flowing energy patterns on the walls that shifted like water, and a faint hum that made the air feel alive. It was beautiful, but unlike anything Ryan had seen before. This is where we begin the final ritual, Tala said. It is not what humans expect. It is a bonding exercise, a way to share thoughts, memories, and understanding. It is the most important step of our marriage. Ryan blinked, uncertain. He had expected privacy, conversation, maybe a quiet evening together, but not a ritual that sounded like something out of a dream. Bonding, he asked. How does it work? Tala guided him to sit on a soft cushion in the center of the room. Close your eyes and focus on me. Do not be afraid. This is not dangerous. It is only a way to connect. Ryan hesitated but trusted her. He closed his eyes and felt a gentle warmth spread through him as Tala reached out, her hands hovering above his. Slowly, he felt her presence in a way that went beyond sight or sound. Thoughts, feelings, and small images flowed into his mind, not overpowering, but gentle, like a soft river. You are learning to share, Tala said. Do not resist. Let me see who you are, and I will show you who I am. At first, Ryan's mind was chaotic. Memories of Earth, of friends, of work on the space station flickered through. Tala guided him, helping him focus, teaching him to select what to share and what to keep private. Then, he began to see glimpses of her life, her studies as a princess, the weight of responsibility, her curiosity about humans, and her quiet moments of wonder. It was strange, beautiful, and deeply moving. Ryan realized how much trust this ritual required. It was not physical, but it created a connection stronger than anything he had ever felt. Your turn, Tala said softly. Show me your world, your experiences, your dreams. Ryan concentrated, sending fragments of his life into the bond, the first time he repaired a ship on his own, the storms he survived in orbit, the quiet nights on Earth when he watched the stars. Tala received each memory with patience, never judging, only understanding. Hours passed without notice. Ryan lost all sense of time, absorbed in the rhythm of sharing and receiving. When he finally opened his eyes, Tala was smiling softly, her glow calm and steady. You have done well, she said. Most humans fear this ritual, but you embraced it with honesty. That is why I chose you. Ryan felt a wave of relief and pride. It was amazing, he said. I didn't expect it to feel like this. I thought it would be strange or uncomfortable. Tala shook her head gently. It can be strange, yes. But it is also a way to see beyond appearances, to understand someone completely. This is the true bond between partners in Viralaya. Physical closeness will come later, but this is deeper. Ryan nodded, realizing she was right. He had faced danger, uncertainty, and challenge before, but nothing had demanded trust and openness in this way. He felt closer to Tala than he ever thought possible, connected in a way that words could never describe. They sat together quietly, hands brushing lightly as they watched the energy patterns in the room. For the first time, Ryan understood that marriage was not just a ceremony or a label, it was about partnership, understanding, and shared responsibility. Tomorrow, Tala said softly, you will meet more of my advisors and learn additional traditions, but tonight, rest. You have taken the first step toward true connection. Ryan smiled, feeling a calm warmth in his chest. He had expected something very different for his first night with Tala, but what he experienced was far more meaningful. He had entered her world and shared his own in return, forming a trust that no ceremony alone could achieve. As they settled in, Ryan looked at Tala, her silver glow gentle under the soft light. Thank you, he said quietly. For trusting me. And thank you, she replied. For opening yourself to this. Together, we will learn, grow, and face whatever comes next. The hum of the room and the soft glow of Viralaya's moons wrapped around them, marking the beginning of a partnership built not just on duty, but on trust, understanding, and the shared promise of a new life. For Ryan, the first night had not been what he expected, but it was exactly what he needed. The morning sun reflected off the glowing towers of Viralaya, filling the palace with soft, shifting light. Ryan awoke feeling both excitement and nervousness. Today, he would meet more of Tala's advisors and learn additional customs of her people. Ryan dressed carefully, making sure every fold of his formal clothing was perfect. Tala had reminded him that even the smallest gesture mattered. Respect shows through actions, she said. Not just words. As they walked through the palace halls, Ryan noticed the subtle movements of the Viralian staff. Every step, every nod, every gesture carried meaning. Humans often acted quickly, without thinking of these details, but here, patience and observation were required. Their first stop was a council chamber where Viralaya's senior advisors awaited. The room was vast, with floating platforms and glowing symbols on the walls. Each advisor looked at Ryan with curiosity and skepticism. Some were polite, others clearly unsure of a human joining the royal family. Tala introduced him carefully. "This is Ryan," she said. "He is learning our ways and preparing to share the bond of our worlds." Ryan bowed as he had been taught, feeling the weight of their gazes. "It is an honor to meet all of you," he said carefully. The advisors began asking questions about Earth, human technology, and Ryan's experiences in space. Some were technical, some personal. Ryan answered honestly, demonstrating knowledge, respect, and curiosity. Slowly, he noticed some skeptical expressions soften. One advisor, an older Viralian named Kellen, leaned forward. "You survived our training and wedding rituals," he said. "But can a human truly adapt to our customs fully? Will you understand our people when difficulties arise?" Ryan took a deep breath. "I may not understand everything immediately," he said. "But I am willing to learn, observe, and adapt. With Tala's guidance, I will do my best to honor your traditions." Tala smiled at him, a quiet encouragement. The room was silent for a moment, then Kellen nodded slowly. "Your honesty and patience are a good start," he said. "That is more important than perfection." After the council, Tala led Ryan to a training room where more practical lessons awaited. They practiced formal greetings, diplomatic gestures, and even some defensive maneuvers used during ceremonial events. Ryan stumbled several times, but Tala remained patient. "Mistakes are part of learning," she said softly. "Do not let them discourage you." Later, they walked through the palace gardens, where glowing flowers and floating ponds reflected the soft light of Viralaya's moons. Tala spoke about her people's values: understanding, patience, and harmony. "Humans often act quickly, solving problems with force or speed," she said. "But Viralians solve problems with observation and cooperation. You have shown that you can combine both approaches. That is why you are important to me and my people." Ryan felt a quiet pride. He realized that adapting to Viralaya was not about changing who he was, it was about understanding differences and respecting them. He had faced dangerous situations before, but this challenge required patience, humility, and an open mind. In the afternoon, an urgent message arrived. A minor dispute had broken out between two neighboring districts of the palace city. Ryan and Tala were asked to mediate. Ryan listened carefully as the leaders spoke, observing their expressions and gestures. He applied what he had learned, showing respect while proposing fair solutions. Tala supported him, guiding him when needed. Slowly, the dispute resolved peacefully. The advisors watched closely. When the discussion ended, several nodded in approval. Even Kellen looked impressed. "You have shown wisdom and understanding," he said. "You are learning quickly. It seems the bond between human and Viralian may be stronger than we expected." That evening, Ryan and Tala returned to their chamber, exhausted but satisfied. "You did very well today," Tala said softly. "You earned respect not just through effort, but through understanding." Ryan smiled, feeling a sense of accomplishment. "I am learning a lot," he said. And I feel connected, not just to you, but to your world. Tala took his hand gently. That connection is what matters most. Challenges will continue, but together, we can face them. Our bond is more than ceremony or ritual, it is a bridge between two worlds. Ryan realized she was right. He had begun as a human outsider, uncertain and nervous. Now, he felt like a partner, someone who could help unite humans and Viralians through trust, respect, and shared purpose. As they looked out over the glowing city, Ryan understood that his journey was far from over. There would be more lessons, more challenges, and more opportunities to grow. But with Tala by his side, he felt ready. The first night, the wedding, and the council had all taught him that understanding and cooperation could overcome doubt and fear. For the first time, he truly felt like he belonged not just in Tala's world, but in a partnership that could change the future of both their peoples. The first light of Viralia's twin moons reflected softly on the palace gardens. Ryan stood beside Tala, feeling a calm warmth in his chest. The past weeks had been a whirlwind, training, learning rituals, the wedding, and the first night bonding, but now, he felt a true sense of belonging. Tala looked at him with a gentle smile. You have done well, Ryan. You understand more than most outsiders ever could. Not only our customs, but the spirit of Viralia. Ryan smiled back. I still have much to learn, he admitted. But I feel connected to you, and to your world. Tala nodded. That connection is the foundation of everything. It is stronger than ceremony, stronger than duty. Together, we can face anything. Over the following days, Ryan continued learning, but now with a sense of confidence. He explored the floating gardens, the glowing forests, and the streams that reflected light like liquid crystal. He learned more about Viralia's technology, which was advanced yet deeply tied to the natural energy of the planet. Tala often accompanied him, guiding him gently, laughing when he made mistakes, and praising him when he succeeded. One afternoon, Tala brought Ryan to the edge of the city, overlooking a vast valley where small villages floated on platforms above glowing rivers. Children played, their laughter echoing in the soft hum of the air. Farmers tended to glowing crops that shifted colors with the seasons. This is what I wanted you to see, Tala said softly. Not just the grandeur of the palace, but the life of our people. Understanding them is part of your journey too. Ryan watched quietly, feeling a sense of awe. It's beautiful, he said. And peaceful. Peace is precious, Tala replied. It must be protected, nurtured. That is why our bond is important, not just for us, but for all who live here and for your people as well. Ryan realized the truth in her words. His presence on Viralia was not just personal, it was symbolic. A human and an alien, working together, learning from each other, bridging cultures. He felt pride and responsibility in equal measure. That evening, Ryan and Tala walked through the palace halls, now familiar to him. The energy patterns on the walls shifted as they passed, like the planet itself recognized their presence. They reached their private chamber, where soft light bathed the room. Do you remember the first night ritual? Tala asked. Ryan nodded. I do. It was, unlike anything I expected. But it helped me understand you, and I think it helped you understand me too. Yes, Tala said, her eyes reflecting the soft glow. That bond is just the beginning. Every day, we will grow closer. Every challenge will make us stronger. They sat together quietly, hands brushing. Ryan felt a deep calm, the kind that comes only when trust is complete. He realized that he had entered Tala's world as an outsider, uncertain and nervous. Now, he was a partner trusted, respected, and ready for the adventures ahead. The next morning, the palace sent word to the human delegation that Ryan was fully accepted into the royal family. His name would be added to the records, and future cooperation between humans and Viralians would be strengthened through him. Ryan felt a quiet pride. He had started as a simple engineer, and now he was a bridge between worlds. Tala stood beside him as he received the news. "You have done more than I expected," she said softly. "Not just for me, but for your people and mine." Ryan looked at her, feeling gratitude and admiration. "I could not have done it alone. You guided me every step." Tala smiled. "And you learned. That is what matters. Together, we will face the future. Together, we will explore, learn, and protect the bond we share." Days turned into weeks, and Ryan and Tala began exploring Viralaya beyond the palace. They visited villages, floated across glowing rivers, and studied the planet's unique energy systems. Ryan shared human knowledge, and Tala shared her wisdom, creating solutions that helped both their peoples. One evening, as the twin moons reflected in a crystal-clear pond, Ryan realized something important. The first night, the wedding, the lessons, all of it had prepared him not just to survive, but to belong. He had come to Viralaya as a visitor, and now he was home. Tala took his hand, her silver skin glowing softly. "Do you feel it?" she asked. "Yes," Ryan said, smiling. "I feel at home. And I feel ready for whatever comes next." Tala nodded. "Then let us face it together." As they stood side by side, looking out at the glowing forests, floating mountains, and rivers of light, Ryan realized that this was only the beginning. A human and an alien, united not by duty alone, but by trust, understanding, and shared purpose. The story of their first night, once uncertain and strange, had grown into a life of partnership, adventure, and hope. Together, they would explore new worlds, face challenges, and bridge the gap between their peoples. And in that moment, Ryan knew with certainty that he had found not just love, but a new beginning, a life that neither he nor Tala could have imagined before their journey began. Viralaya shimmered around them, alive and vibrant, and Ryan smiled, ready to step fully into the future, hand in hand with the princess who had changed his life forever.